about timing， 有些人甚至牵手，刚牵手完 ，right away。比如说，与其你在房子面前哭，我们宁可不要去看。Why? Because you didn't get anything ready。你说 pre-qualified letter 到底要 take how long？ 至少大概1天吧。要，对不对？好。那如果今天人家就要 review offer，can you get ready? You cannot。因为遇过的马上就要 review offer。我每次都是 catch up the last call。Yeah。You're not ready， 那我宁可不去选。We shouldn't waste time。对，所以你自己想想看，如果说你跟这些客人讲说，好，我没看到房子，我为什么去准备？那我请问你，你到底想不想买房子？你想不想买房子 ？You tell me。想啊想啊，我想买。那你表现出来的，我感觉就是不想
ready 嘛，你不 ready。
对，因为什么？你要怎么 educate 他？我们要什么 offer 的时候 ，I need 3 things: 1 bank statement, 1 pre-qualified letter, and purchase agreement。缺一不可，因为现在的你也知道，现在这新一点少了一份 incomplete，right？ 我们都知道。那既然这样的话呢，那何必浪费时间？看了图伤心啊！看到了我喜欢 ，I'm not ready。有时候是这样的。那如果说今天你比如那样别的 agent 都愿意这样，那你找他，不要找我。你也有24小时，我也有24小时，我24小时比你的24小时更值钱，因为你不尊重你的时间嘛，你意思就是，我叫你准备，你不准备，你不是也不尊重我的时间，再同样你也不尊重你的时间，因为出去看了是来看，是的，下不了 offer， 你如果看了不喜欢 ，no problem，understand。我没叫你现在要给我。Show me you have it. That's all I need. Show me. 如果你连这个基本的都做不到，就像说我今天为什么要去你家写？你为什么不来我公司？我们在一起住吗？或是到咖啡厅，或是我们家？你根本没有那个，你根本连都对我不尊重。如果说像我的客人，甚至是国外来，像我最近来讲，我们自己先开车让他们来车子 rent a car， 他们还想再买，他知道我在买，我们先看，我再去买。那我给他几个 listing， 我自己觉得不错的，像今天呢，我们自己先去看看，有中意的时候跟我讲，再下单。我当然很客气跟他讲，我今天来讲下午的话呢 ，around the area， 如果你真的需要马上要去看 inside 的话 ，let me know， 是吧？那不就很好吗？对不对？他们也要 educate 他们是，你配合我时间，不是我配合你时间，不要搞错了。因为这样的话，我才有我的 my own time 嘛，我可以去打球，我可以去登山，我可以去脚踏车，我可以 ，that's my time。差别在这里。就像我很多客人都知道，昨天打电话给我，他都 text 我 ，James 打球完的时候再打电话给我好。他们都知道我在打球，不敢吵我。打完球之后再打电话。这是会懂得尊重我的时间。同样，他们在忙的时候，我也是一样，对不对？好，下各方面，你要 ready， 一样嘛。我们不是他的佣人 ，You don't want to look down yourself. That's the issue. 所以 ，Did you feel the pride to being a real estate agent? A lot of people will ask you, "What do you do for a living?" I work with the real estate. Come on, I'm the real estate agent. The most subject you like to talk about. Everybody likes to talk about real estate. But basically, when we open a conversation, when we learn the skill, is we go to say any party. Basically, you ask someone, "Oh, okay, somebody stranger, totally stranger. What do you do for a living?" Do I really care? How do you do? Or how does he or she do in the living? What I'm waiting for? You ask me back. That's the whole purpose. But I starting the conversation first. You gotta have to start a conversation. What do you do for a living? Yeah. Then you start, the conversation. I say, hi, hi. And that's it. That's how, basically, how you, we didn't really selling a house. What are we selling? Ourselves. Well, people like you or people trust you, everything is easy. Just like somebody, if like the lead, they just call you over the phone. When you pick up the phone call, or when I pick up the phone call, how come they will go with me but doesn't go with you? How you can catch their heart within 5 minutes, catch their trust within 5 minutes, even over the phone. That takes some time and learning skill. Okay, you get it straight. You only got 5 minutes. You don't want to wasting your time. Okay, and you don't have to against their thought. I say what you say. What you think is like, oh, the market is down. Oh, okay, that's what you think, right? You don't have to fight. If you fight with your client, that's not gonna help. Okay, they don't like you already. But what happened? That's a most of a real estate agent. What they do is start fighting with your client. Doesn't matter seller, they want to sell high. It's like, oh, okay, that's what you think, right? How much is seller for? Can I share with you how's your neighbor selling for? Right? So, or what's your situation? How much you want to offer? Okay, can I show you how much most of a buyer they offer around the neighborhood? Because those are sold comp, right? You do have a sold comp. You can show them. That's how much they pay. Basically, you let them answer their own question and they cannot deny it. That's the smartest way. I don't want to answer your question, but I'm using another question to create another question. Let you answer and you just answer your previous question. That's it. Yeah. That's the best way. Even, when you have a listing, what I'm facing it, some of a client, they like to see the listing agent to buy the property. They think they can get a better deal. And they want to ask for kickback. Oh, so you double N, so you can give me some. No. Why? If I do have it, who should I give it to? Seller, not you. Why? Because I'm hired by seller. You did not hire me. You just come over. You just come over. You think you want to get a better deal. Okay? So that's a situation. I said, well, why I can be so tough to say that? Because it's my listing. You cannot go anyone else to go this listing. Even, okay, you find your friend to be a buyer's list. I'm still selling the property, right? Do I got to lose? No. You lose a little commission? Yeah. But I'd rather, lose some, half of like I don't have to double end it. So I got last liability. Why not? But those people, believe me, they won't hire any buyer's agent. Even they still want those buyer's agent to get the kickback. But they say, oh, but that means, can you, so, one of the buyers asked me and say, so I can find another agent to submit an offer so I can ask a kickback from his or her and say, yeah, you could. But it's too late. You approach me first now. I know you. You want to buy it? Have to go through me. Because you approach me first. First come, first serve. Otherwise, why should I have to come here to show you the property? You can have your friend. I'll set it up, the appointment. Your friend as agent. They can go direct. Why should I have to spend the time with you already? You approach the listing agent, you got to stick with it. Otherwise, I know you, right? I'm sorry. What's that telling you? Your offer, well, probably. I screw you. So that's why don't piss the listing agent. Believe that, okay? Everybody had to play different role. Buyer's agent, listing agent, okay? When you're the buyer's agent, calm down. Don't fight with the listing agent. All right. You can find some way, but when you gather, all the information before you fight back, especially, don't fight with the listing agent before you open escrow. Because they can choose other offer instead of yours, right? When they choose your offer, yeah, I'm the tiger now. You're the cat. Listing agent, you're the cat. I'm the tiger. All right. But before that, I'm the cat. He's the tiger. So the situation is different. You gotta have to get the deal, sign, get the seller signature first before you fight back. Because everything can be fight back, as a buyers. Because in California law is the consumer law. Buyer has a right to cancel. You gotta remember that, but not seller. One seller accepting the offer, no, unless they writing the clause like they have to find a relocation property or something. Okay, let's starting on paragraph 15 today. Final verification of condition. Okay, this is important on the last statement I want to tell you. Buyer should have the right to make the final verification of a property within 5 days. So usually you do the final walkthrough 5 days or later, before the close. Not too early, because sometimes the seller doesn't even start to move yet. And sometimes, they haven't finished the repair either. So prior to close of escrow, not as contingent of the sale, but solely to confirm the property is maintained pursuing the paragraph 11. 2, repair has been completed as agreed. 3, seller has complied with the seller's other obligation under this agreement. Like what can comply with what? Probably they have to vacate their premises, right? They got to remove all their own personal belonging, and so do the debris. But a lot of people will ask me, can we use a VP verification, okay, or what we call the final walkthrough, to delay closing? The answer is no. Why? Not as a contingency of the sale. See that? What's that telling you? Not contingency. You cannot stop the escrow closing. Even seller did not finish a repair, or seller doesn't want to repair at the last moment, or seller leave the trash in the house. It happened, right? It happened. Who's gonna clean it up later? Most likely it's a buyer's agent, right? Or listing agent. So that's why we don't give out our commission away. Why? We don't know when we're gonna spend more money. Could be repair, could be some of a fee maybe, and cleaning. Because it just, we cannot predict what the seller can like. Suddenly they say, okay, well, just they thought they can leave all the trash. Some of a buyer have a tendency. I'm not sure is it happen in Asia. Some of a buyer has a tendency. The seller is obligated to clean the house. I thought it just, personally, I think it just remove all their personal belongings, leave it as a vacant. But some of the buyer even have a tendency to think about, oh, how come seller did not thoroughly clean the house for us? Huh? Somebody asked me that. Oh, no, they're not obligated. As long as they clean the trash. That's it. Cleaning the house is your job, buyer. How do I know? You might just do the remodeling, or maybe after the paint touch up, then you clean the house. Seller didn't really have obligation to say, oh, I got to clean the carpet, clean the house. No. Why? Present as is condition. That's when you bought. Paragraph 11. So that's why they keep on telling you here, repeating again, paragraph 11. 16, repair. Repair shall be complied with prior to final verification of a condition unless otherwise agreed in writing. Repair to be performed at seller's expense may be performed by seller through others, provided that the works comply with applicable law.
including government permits, inspection, and approval requirement. Repair shall be performed in a good, skillful manner with material of quality and appear comparable with the existing material. It is understood that exact restoration of appearance or a cosmetic item follow all repair may not be possible. Seller should 1. Obtain invoice and pay receipt for repair performed by other. I certainly encourage the seller, don't do it yourself, even you know how to do it. Why? You hire somebody with the license and let them repair and have them issue the invoice. So the receipts pass it on to buyer. If the same situation broke down again, you're not liable. Do you think if there's something that repair, home warranty company will take over? No. Home warranty companies, I'm not stupid. That's existing repair, existing items. The seller, if the that's why the of some of the items, if they have any doubt, the home warranty company, they can challenge you to show me your inspection report. They want to see it. If sometime sometimes they can recognize it. Some of a problem is a pre-existing problem, not after you close the escrow, and they can refuse to repair.
One question:
Sure.
If the seller refused to repair, if I was through the FH loan, can he say no, or we need to pay? I need to pay.
Good question. So seller that's when we cover remember what I talk about the form non-responsibility.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's a form when the issue happened, the condition for the FHA loan standard, you have to do the repair, but seller doesn't want to repair. Okay, seller doesn't want to repair. Then who buyer say I like this house, I'll do the repair, but I have to do the repair before close of escrow because otherwise they cannot get funded. That's the time when we issue non-responsibility, notarize it and post it on the house. You got what the contractor's
so that
name.
Will be the buyer.
Buyer, yeah, buyer pay for it. No, seller need to notarize it. Seller notarize the contractor and seller note a non-responsibility, because that is actually seller say if anything wrong with the buyer's contractor, it's not my responsible. Contractor, you cannot sue me or claim that my insurance if anything wrong with it. Okay, so that your situation it is, and been there, done that. So I that's what I did before. That's the so what if seller doesn't want to repair, and you gotta have to find a solution, and that's a solution. Okay, otherwise you cannot get the loan funded. Then I want to end up with cancel.
Yeah, so that we have reason to cancel for that. No any penalty.
No. Buyer cancel, not seller cancel.
No, I say the buyer can cancel.
If the buyer doesn't like the house enough, okay, they don't love the house, then they can cancel. As a seller, you don't do a repair, then I don't want to buy. Even it's FHA loan, so what?
That can be, right?
Yes, but you better deal with that everything within contingency period. Okay, so whatever the repair, FHA loan. Sometime if you deal with it, that's why when we do the inspection, if it's FHA loan, do the inspection right away. Because then you send in the request for repair. If the seller rejected, what happened? Then you gotta have to decide. Okay, because whatever the repair, because okay, put it this way. You know who will find out those repair? Not because you give the request for repair to lender. No, I never give the request for repair to lender. Who actually inspecting that? Appraiser. FHA loan appraiser, they are more like their inspector too. They will not just appraise the value and inspect roughly for the house, whatever the condition, FHA loan guideline. For the appraiser will inspect that, and they will put it on the report. So if it's a FHA loan, order the inspection and order the appraisal right away. Because appraiser, they gotta have to do the appraisal and inspect it. Once the report going back, if something lender is not satisfied and they require for repair, then either we insist the seller repair or buyer have to step in to repair. you better square everything away before you remove all contingency. So it's more hassle when you deal with the FHA loan. It is. So that's how, we rather, have the seller hire the contractor with the receipt, so you don't have to worry about it later on. And the the receipt. Okay. What did I jump to? Which line? Including the seller expense through the comply with the, okay, including the, okay. Oh, you have the buyer. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Okay. Seller and through the repair to be performed, seller expense may be performed by the seller and through others, provide that would you comply with it? Okay. Permit. Oh. Repair should be skillful manner of the quality and repair and comparable. It is. Understand that exact restoration appears the cosmetic item follow all repair may not be possible. Some of them may not be possible. Some of them older house you just cannot find the parts. They just have to find something similar, compatible. Seller should 1. Obtain invoice and pay receipts for repair performed by other. 2. Prepare a written statement including a repair performed by seller and the date of such repair. 3. Provide copy of the invoice and pay receipts and statement to buyer prior to final verification condition. So basically what we're telling the seller is that whatever with this house, related to this house, even your remodeling receipts, that probably a long time ago, okay? Remodeling receipts or remodeling plans or whatever the warranty, even I know it's out of warranty, but you gotta leave the manual, right? Sometimes the dishwasher manual, whatever the manual may be. And so do the repair receipts. Anything related to this house, leave it to the buyer. So they don't have to call you for, I don't know how to use this. Well, certainly we can say, can you find out online? But I don't use a computer. Oh, who's going to be find out online for all the owner's manual? Agent. Now you can find anything online, the owner's manual. Even the older model. Just like last time, if I try to find out, from my washer and dryer, okay, the washer or something in the warning light come out, I say, what's that? I say, I don't know, where's my wife, put on the owner's manual. So I get online. That's about 15 years, when we bought that washer. So you get online, you can still find it. Proration and property tax and other item. Unless otherwise agreed in writing, the following item and pay current and prorated between the buyer and seller as a close of escrow. Real property tax and assessment, interest, rent, HOA, regular special and emergency due assessment imposed prior to close of escrow. Premium and insurance assumed by the buyer. Payment or bonds and assessment assumed by the buyer. And the payment on middle rules, other special assessment, district bond and assessment that are now a lien. The following item shall be assumed by the buyer without credit toward the purchase price. So those are proration. You don't credit them. Did you ever see the property tax? Oh, sellers already pay. Well, basically, or you do the proration. If the seller's already paid, then the buyer sometimes need to pay back to the seller. So that considers more like credit. But most of them is without a credit. So if in between the payment, if the seller doesn't pay, buyer doesn't pay, then they will prorate. And we always using, later on we'll cover that, proration payment of the middle rules and other special tests, district bond assessment, HOA special assessment, they are now a lien but not yet due. If it's not yet due, then property will be reassessed upon the change of ownership. Any supplemental tax bill shall be paid as follows. 1, the period after close of escrow by buyer, and for 2, for period prior to close of escrow by seller. So those are, we're using the form SBSA for further information instead of SPT. We're using the SBSA now. Tax bill issued after close of escrow shall be handled directly between buyer and seller. Proration shall be made based on a 30 days a month. So that's the most important, 30 days. And so do the escrow when they calculate the proration. If it's February, it's still 30 days. July, August, still 30 days. Doesn't matter. Every month they're using 30 days to do the proration. But I mean, the one thing, you know, what I want to reminding you, you got to have to remind the buyer. You did not receive the tax bill, property tax bill. Doesn't mean you don't have to pay. A lot of buyers, I did not receive it. How do I pay? Get online. Oh, but I already late. The only thing is a 10% penalty. Then you know what they say? How come you don't remind me? Oh, if you could, reminding your buyer just for the half year, okay? The recent half year, like for example, now it's the time, you know, you're starting reminding them. December 10th, that's the property tax day coming up, okay? Then you better maybe next month, November, start reminding them. Have you paid your property tax yet? Okay, just tell you it's going to be due on December 10th. Even you did not receive the tax bill. How can you? But I don't know how to get online. Well, buyer's agent, get online, show them. Yeah.
One more question for the property tax.
Yeah.
If I buy the house in July.
Yes.
But property tax next year will be go to November.
Yes.
In July for November, when the escrow is open is July, the close is the August.
Okay.
So in this month, what difference is
seller credit buyer for between July to August.
Okay, seller will be.
Seller need, yeah, but I mean based on the seller tax rate.
But he will figure out that.
Yeah, escrow will figure it out. Yes.
About, okay.
Yeah, because most likely that's why the supplemental tax. The second year, you gotta remind the buyer. The property tax won't be as cheap. It won't be as cheap as what you just paid the first year, because the first year you pay, it's a seller's tax rate. They bought it earlier, they're cheaper, so the tax rates, everything is lower. So in between the gap, the differences, that's what we call supplemental tax. Reminding them, next year you will see for the separated tax bill for supplemental tax. Don't ignore it. That is actually your portion you need to pay. Okay, I didn't pay. Yeah, you need to pay 4 times the first year. Put it this way, right? Regular property tax, if it's like within the tax fiscal year, twice regular property tax, but that's based on seller's tax rate. Then supplemental tax, there was also separated 2, right? 2 times. So technically you pay 4 times on the first year when you bought the house. Then following, you know, the years, then they will, you know, adjust everything to 1, you know, tax bill. Then you just back to regular, twice semi-annually. 18, broker compensation. Seller and buyer both are applicable, agree to pay compensation to broker and specify in the separate written agreement between broker and the seller or buyer. Compensation is payable upon close of escrow, or if the escrow does not close as otherwise specified in the agreement between broker and the seller or buyer. Usually we get paid, you know, after close of escrow, but what kind of situation we still get paid? The escrow did not close. Come on, it's your money. You gotta know, it's your money. If buyer cancel after they remove contingency period, and buyer compensate the seller, the compensation, right? The initial deposit, we are entitled up to 50% of the compensation, any compensation. Where's that? Where's that clause? Where? On the listing agreement. Listing agreement is there already. But how many of a listing agent you read it? It's your money. When you get compensated, we are entitled for up to 50%, half. I will cover that, but I'll show you right now. So you were clear, where's that? Listing agreement. First page. Did any one of you read it thoroughly? Here. Okay, let me tell you. That's okay. B, completion. 3B, second half. Okay, let me read it. If a completion of a sales is prevented by the party of a transaction other than the seller, then compensation which otherwise would be earned under paragraph 3A shall be payable only if, when the seller collect damage by suit, lawsuit, arbitration, settlement, or otherwise, then in an amount of equal to lesser than 1/2 of the damages recovered or the above compensation after first deducted title, escrow expense, and the expense of a collection. It's there. Did you dare to ask the seller? Yeah, but nobody knows. It's on the first page. Maybe you read it, doesn't understand. Okay. What's that? I know it's hard to understand. Equal to lesser of 1/2 of the damages. No more than 50%. Yeah. So you can ask whatever the percentage may be with the seller. Hey seller, can I split, with you the 1/3? But I mean, when you sign a listing agreement, any damage, any settlement, I'm entitled for up to half. It's there. Huh? Me? I better don't cancel it. Well, that's, sometimes I did, had it. But I mean, usually we don't want to get, okay, law is here. Actually, it's black and white. But in reality, if you still want to continue on this listing, sometime you will let it go. Okay? It depends on the seller. Yep. So if I not anything, for example, if anything happened on the settlement, arbitration may happen, or mediation. Mediation, usually you don't pay anything, but arbitration, losing party paying the winning party. But so you get a settlement on that. But usually what we get the most is the initial deposit from the buyer. They compensate to the seller. Okay? Then who's going to fight that money? Listing agent, not you, seller. So I fight hard for your money. Am I entitled to get something to pay? Should I get paid? Yeah, no free lunch. So then we can, get some payment from the seller up to 50%. Yeah, but sometimes, if you, as a seller say, hey, I'm already wasting a whole month and for nothing. Oh, I should get compensated. Yeah, so do I. Yeah, why? Because I didn't get paid from you either. So both of us get paid from the buyer, settlement. So you don't need to you don't let the seller say they lost the money. No, there's extra money. Because when you list a house, buyer has the right to cancel. Then seller have to wasting time, continued marketing. Otherwise, don't live in California. Right? That's a law. Sometimes you tell them and say, did you ever return anything to Costco, Target, or Walmart? Guarantee. All of them. Yes. Then what's that telling you? Do you think though they can they repackage and put on the shelf? Unless it's an open item. No. The initial deposit is an escrow. Mm-hmm. 这就是 damage 了。 This is a damage already. Right, 没有，对。Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It deducted maybe title or escrow may have expense though. Yeah. Split half. Yes, that's it. It's your money. Well, now I tell you how you can make extra money. Yeah. No, but you know, obviously, but 等到不要卖的时候 when you is not selling, it's too late because all the money is already to the seller already. So that's it. When it's escrow ready to disperse, you know, for the money to the seller, say, wait, we're entitled. So that's why when you sign a listing, I mentioned this to seller. Okay, remember that. No. But you gotta go over with the seller. You gotta have to remind seller. If I have any settlement, I fight hard for your money. So we split. I split with you. I didn't say split how much, but I can split half with you. So if we get, so for example, you just explain to the seller, if the buyer, you know, cancel, okay, then we get the buyer's initial deposit. So we split half. Okay. So you get paid, I get paid. You got compensate, I get compensate. This only agent only. Buyer's agent? Oh no. 你有楼数就不错了。So buyer's agent, okay? This is only listing agent, all right? This is a listing agreement. So it's only we talk about listing agent, all right?
他说我房子还是给你卖啊，
对，
继续啊，但是这就算了。
他说我说那我们不要 half嘛 ？How about something? Right? 1/3? Hey, something better than nothing. Okay? Yeah, because either way, yeah, because either way is fine. Because you tell them and say, our job is like real estate attorney. Our job is like real estate doctor. But we don't get paid until your house gets sold. But when you consult with attorney, you have to pay. When you consult with a doctor, you have to pay. Doesn't matter you get cured or not. They don't care your case is winning or not. You need to pay. We're not. So this is the only time we can get paid something. Yeah. So when you sign a listing, mention it to the seller. Okay? Yeah. All right, let's go back. So if you know very well on your contract, actually, money's there. But it's always there. It's nothing new. Since I practice. Everybody afraid to talk about it. Okay, put it this way. When you show the buyer, what do? Did you ever sign the buyer's agreement? Oh, that's another money. Yeah, see? Buyer's agreement, if the buyer doesn't buy the house from you, buyer, you need to pay me the commission. Well, that's a buyer's agreement. Okay? Yeah. See?
For the commission.
No. If they buy through other agent, buyer, you need to pay me. Otherwise, I have a right to sue you for the damage. That is the agreement, what I can put it on. Sometimes you can put 3% of the whatever the purchase price. And what's the territory? LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County. Oh boy, that's covered a lot. Or the price range. Because the 买的那个房子，不过 coverage. When I talk about that buyer's agreement, before you show them a property, you gotta have to writing a limitation, what the premises, you know, for the price range for the property and the area, okay, and how much you can pay, put the flat fee or percentage, whatever the purchase price or flat fee, whatever. So those are 3 items you gotta put the buyer's agreement. So that's another money. Caucasian, they will do the buyer's agreement. Chinese, oh no, they probably walk away. Okay, find someone else. Okay. That's it. Yeah. And so that's why we have what? Showing agent and also a negotiation agent. Showing agent is anybody with a license. You can open the door. Okay, that's a showing agent. Well, at least you have to pay the board. Okay, otherwise you don't have a E-key for Supra. You know, some of the agents, they are so naive. They just come in. How come my lockbox there? How come my E-key is not working? Did you ever register your app to board? Oh, we need to join the board? Now, because sometimes the office manager reminding them so many times, and they're just so lazy, they never went to the board. So what's wrong with my E-key? Nothing wrong. It's not registered. Yeah. Yeah. So those agents ready to. They are not belong here. 请说。Agent 带来 buyer 的名字也可以 ，because it was split with the buyer's agent. That's mean the total commission. Okay. 比如说我在 listing 期间， yes. 这个 buyer 的 agent 有带着客人来看过，那时候下了单，我们没 negotiate 没成功。Yes. 过了1个月，我 expire 了，别的 agent 接手了，他又继续又觉得。那这个时候 The buyer's agent, if they're still the same buyer's agent, okay, they actually, you know, they submit the offer to the second listing agent. So they, you know, the question is the first listing agent expired, and I want to put 120 days because I'm signing 4 months on the listing period. I still entitled for listing. Okay, I'm still entitled for listing commission, whatever I sign it on my part. Buyers already have a buyer's part with the current listing agent. But what I'm telling you, how come? How about the second listing agent? Either seller pay or they don't get paid. Then the second listing agent was after the seller. Seller gotta pay double listing agent. So that's why, you know, put it this way. Put it this way. Did you ever, okay, when especially expired listing, I prevent all the aggravation. When you sign a listing, did you ever put the previous listing brokerage on your listing agreement? No, before okay, put it this way. Before I list the property, you will see it. And not only that, before you listed the property, especially expired listing, I want to see your previous listing agreement. Okay. And I asked the seller, did you have any list from previous listing agent? That's a responsible listing agent. That's what you should do. That's what I do. What I did is I asked the listing if they don't have it. Okay, fine, I'm clear. But I will protect myself. I will not shortcut. I will still listed the previous company on the listing agreement on the first page. Recently, I got one listing. That one I haven't put on the market yet. No, 没有用。Within你在 the before your list your listing expired within 5, I believe it's 5 days. 你这个 question I better answer, otherwise I may forget. Yeah. 哪一个 property? 哦，这个，等一下。 这个来讲就是 exactly 就是你讲的这个，这个的话是 commercial property, so but it's same thing, you know, same situation. I'm the second agent, but I did not list it as much as like the first listing agent, just a lower price. So I got better chance, right? Yeah, but certainly it has to agree by the seller. First one may not be the great one. Okay, I'll look at right here. Come on, wake up. Zip form is not responding. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me put a full screen. The clause is the sentence, the statement is the same right here. The F. Right here. Owner represent that owner has not been previously entered into the listing agreement with another brokerage regarding the property unless specified as follows. I did specify. Because I don't want any trouble. Huh? Yeah. 你不要说 so naive. Say, I didn't know. I said, come on. You put on the MLS. You check on the MLS. You doesn't know. You ask the owner. Did you ever list it? Yeah. How much they listed for? 1.99 million. Okay. How much do I list for? Now 1.88. Then obviously you did list it. The other agent before. But certainly, if the you've been listed, the property say like a year or a couple of years before, then that's you don't have to put it. It's too too far away. But this is just right after. Right after. So that means because the owner have to sign it, and if the owner doesn't tell you, if the owner lied to you, then I'm not obligated. But owners already tell you, I was listed, with other company for how much? And what's telling you? I'm the second one. Or it could be third one. Then I got to put two companies. Okay? I know a lot of a listing agent, they never put it right here. And if nothing happened, that's fine. But if something really happened, okay, especially between this and also the days, you talk about right here, say if I put it here because I listed for 90 days, right here is within the calendar day, okay? So this is, if they did not turn in the list, okay, then, hey, just right before, just right before the escrow close, your listing expire, you gotta have to turn in the list. So here, if you within whatever the calendar day, after the end of a listing period, any extension, owner enter into the contract to sell, lease, exchange, option, convey, or other transfer property to anyone or that person related entity, okay, who physically enter and will show the property. So that means who actually physically enter the property doesn't have to be in with submit offer. Like when you do open house, did you ever get a list? That's the money. When those people walk in, not your agent, not it's okay. Your agent, that's fine. I'm the listing agent. Okay? I provide all the lists. Who do I care? Okay, that's why I say, who is actually qualified? So this is important. Who physically enter and will show the property during the listing period. Any extension by broker or cooperating broker. 2, for whom broker or any cooperating broker submitted an owner a signed written offer to acquire, lease, exchange, or obtain an option of the property. Owner, however, still show no obligation to broker under this paragraph 4A2. Okay, not later. The end of a listing period or any extension or cancellation. Broker has given owner a written notice of the name of such prospective transferee. So that means before the listing over, you gotta have to provide the list. Not just whoever submitted the offer, whoever entered the property, including open house. Hey. How many? I would say 99% of a listing agent never submit the list. So when you do the open house, do you want to get the buyer's information? Yeah, I mean, but that's okay. It doesn't matter name. I got email address and if the phone number. So I try to gather as much as I could. But I don't care. I just type it out the list. That's it. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Okay. So far, never. But did I do it? Yeah. Yeah. Just, it's your money. It's up to you. Do you want to, you know, it's just like you see if you can hit the lotto. That's it. Yeah. That's why we still come back to work. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, nobody hit the lotto here. Yeah. So that's why that's why you got to know the contract, okay, very well. It's all the money's there. 你现在知道了哈，非常清楚了哈。It's clear now, right? Yes. I didn't make it. Right here, the word. One, physically enter. 这个是 it's a list. Okay, it's an option. Doesn't mean you have to get it, but it's a tool for me to negotiate. Because that's why I get all the ammunition when I want to negotiate or fight back with the seller. You don't continue listing with me. You don't continue to continue on listing. You expire listing. You give it to some other agent. Be careful. Hey, I can fight back. Oh yes, yes. That's what you can do at the extension. You know, part of a negotiation. Okay. Now in that you show them and say, look, I show you so many people. How come we did not get sale? It's expired. Because price. Your price has a problem. Then that's using another tool to tell the seller, lower the price when we signing the listing again. Okay, but you know, the sidetrack again is the when you lower the price, okay, it happened to our coworker. When you lower the price, you got to use a form called modification of terms. Don't just sell it, tell you, okay, yeah, you can lower another $10,000. Just don't do it, because over the phone, and you just change the MLS price. Because it happened. Seller never ignore it later on. Who told you to lower the price? You did. When? Oh, I lost memory. Yeah, you did. What date? Am I? How can you prove it? So you remember, use the other zip form called modification of term, and that would actually adjust the listing price or any term and condition. That's why they call it modification of term, because you don't let them sign a listing agreement again, or you don't modify the listing agreement after the seller sign. You grab, it's more like addendum. So, but the technical term is called the modification of term. So they modify the listing agreement, whatever the listing agreement. Okay, it could be income property, it could be residential, or it could be commercial. Okay. Yeah. 那这个日期的话，就是 expire 这个在 expire 中间可以这样，还是说 expire 以后的一段时间也 ？Right before expire, expire just everything is over. Okay. Over. 他 expire 之前，如果他 cancel 的话，对不对？又找别人的话，就 OK. Put it this way， 像我这个 listing 来讲，我是说 OK， 像我这来讲，我11月1号才要上 ，OK。那我什么时候要？我在2月1号之前，我一定要送上去。That's 3 months. 如果 do I have any list？ 我在2月1号之前要送上去 ，February 1st. Within 3 months, at the end, before the listing expires, you got to send the listing. So send the list, the name of the list. List all the name, whoever entered that property or submitted offer. Give it to the seller. And make sure seller sign. I did receive it, okay? And you get that copy, and seller give a copy. So I'm afraid the seller said, when did you give me the list? I did. Well, when? Okay. Anything get signature and dated. This is America, okay? No more shake hand. Not in a good old day, okay? Shake hand used to be, 100 years ago. You want to buy the property? Shake hand. That's it. No contract, no paperwork. Why? Our contract, we're getting more pages. It won't get less. Why? It's because anybody or every suing each other. That's how it happened. We got more the contract. 哎，对，我11月1号在，对我10月30我再讲，对我到时候就11月1号我再正式上市，所以我这都还没有上 MLS。对啊，很多你不要想为什么讲说 ，We signed a listing agreement long time ago, a month or 2 months before. That's it. So I have extra. 不没有问题。I do have a form. What's this? Seller instruct to exclude listing from. That's a SELM. Do not submit property MLS until November 1st. Seller sign. SE. OK， 你要看这个底下的话，看到没有 ？SELM。没有啊，这个对啊。或是 if you submit it or something, somebody want to challenge you. This is it. So you gotta have to let the seller sign this form. Okay. So that's if anything delay, 1 day delay, then you gotta let the seller sign this form. Okay, let's go back to purchase agreement. But certainly, it's whatever the property is now on the market. If you guys want to sell, that's fine. You already see the commission. That's right on Rosemead. Yeah, 5 units, commercial property. More like upstairs an office and downstairs a retail, right on Del Mar Boulevard. Yeah, south side of 10 freeway. Just like, I have another listing coming up, on Mona, just after they finish the remodeling. That's in Snow Creek. Yeah. Well, I already market for $998,000, the cheapest one, because wife passed away half year ago in the house. Yeah, 生病。她是 purposely want to come back home, and she doesn't want to go in hospital. And husband is say, so be it. So that's why I actually saw wife. It's about 3 days before she passed away. And I say, well, it's your choice. I know to a listing agent, I'm going to be tough to sell. Yeah. And but at least, the seller spending about $20,000 do all the painting, flooring, and inside, outside, paint it. Okay. And I tell them to replace all the carpet and vinyl floor. Wow. If somebody want to upgrade it, that's fine. Yank it. But at least show better. But definitely it's cheaper than the market. You don't find anything in Snow Creek under $1 million. 998,000 that I'm going to put on the market. After they finish, probably I would say next week sometime. Yeah. 2485 square footage. Got a 1-bedroom downstairs, 3-bedroom upstairs. I'm like you do. I still need to work. Huh? 没有，这个没有景。It's a little slope behind it. So 这个来讲的话 right on Snow Creek 那条街上 east side of Snow Creek, the smaller house area. The big one, that one I have one for lease. That one I guess begging somebody is like, can they lease it? It's a custom home, $5,500 for 4,500 square footage house. Yeah, rent. Yeah. That's on the other side of Snow Creek. Yeah. Okay, so we'll continue on the 18B, scope of duty. Buyer and seller acknowledge and agree the broker. One does not decide what price the buyer should pay or seller should accept. Does not guarantee the condition of the property. We cannot guarantee. 3, does not guarantee the performance, adequacy, or completeness and inspection service, product, and repair provided or made by the seller or others. And does not have an obligation to conduct an inspection of common area or area of the site of the property. 5, shall not be responsible for identified defect of the property in common area or off-site unless such defect are visually observed by an inspection or of the reasonable accessible area of the property or are known to broker. 6, shall not be responsible for inspection, public record, or permit concerning the title or use of the property. 7, shall not be responsible for identify the location of boundary line or other items affecting title. 8, shall not be responsible, shall not be responsible for verifying square footage, representation of other information contained in investigation reports, multiple listing service, advertisement, flyer, and other promotion material. 9, shall not be responsible for determine the fair market value of the property and any personal property included in the sales. 10, shall not be responsible for providing legal or tax advice regarding any aspect of a transaction entered into the buyer or seller. Number 11, shall not be responsible for providing other advice information that exceed the knowledge, education, experience required to perform real estate license activity. Buyer and seller agree to seek legal, tax, insurance, title, and other desired assistance from appropriate professionals. What's that telling you? We're trying to release all the liability. We are not responsible for almost everything. Is it? But you gotta have to know. You gotta have to explain to buyer and seller. We're not responsible for anything outside of a real estate. Even we tell them any tax advice. Okay, some people will try to be smart. Or any legal advice. We're still not responsible. Okay? But don't tell them too much though. Otherwise, because our oral, remember that, our oral agreement, it will still consider an agreement in the court. So don't promise anything to your client. I see the agent before, what they tell. No problem, because James Chow, everything will be settled. No, I never say that. 包在我身上，一切没问题. There's no way. I would never say that. But some of agents will say that. No problem. Then we'll have a problem. Did you ever see any case have no problem? Not me. Every case has a problem. That's just a bigger problem, a smaller problem. And it all has a problem. Okay? So don't guarantee anything. Don't promise anything. Because if you promise, you better deliver. If you cannot promise, if you cannot deliver, then don't promise. And then usually, if I don't know, I would say, let me find out. That's a great question. Let me find out. What's it telling you? I don't know. In the other way, nicer way. Yeah. It doesn't feel shame if I tell you I don't know, because I'm still learning. Yeah. So basically, I'm here as I share the information with you, and I still learn from you guys, for all the questions and troubles. Yeah. Then I put it into my data bank. 对不对？你们的 trouble 变成my data bank 大数据。All the information I put into my brain. Okay, paragraph 19. So that's why, you got to tell the buyer or seller, say, you're not responsible for a lot of things. Okay. That's 11 items over there. That's a lot of them. Okay. That's how we have to protect ourselves. 19. Representative capacity. Okay, this is, last time we mentioned that if one of the more party is signing this agreement in the representative capacity and not for him or herself as an individual, then the party should so indicate a paragraph 31, 32, attach a representative capacity signature discussion, RCSD. Whenever the signature and initial of the representative identify in the RCSD appear on this agreement or any related document, it shall be deemed to be representative capacity for the entity described and not in individual capacity unless otherwise indicate. The party acting in the representative capacity, 1, represents that the entity for which that party is acting already exists. 2, shall deliver to the other party escrow holder within 3 days after acceptance, provided to authority to act in a testimonial court order, power of attorney, corporate resolution, and formation document of the business entity. So that means when you open escrow with the, if the seller or the buyer, they are the entity or power of attorney, anything, or even living trust, okay, trust. So you got to provide an article to escrow. Otherwise, escrow, so who is going to be authorized to sign the agreement? Because obviously it's not in person, not the seller or not the buyer in the name. Someone signing for the seller or buyer, they got to have article to prove that. Okay, just like if the living trust is what? Beneficiary. If it's LLC or corporation, who's going to be signing it? Okay, manager on the article. Legally can sign the document. And power of attorney, obviously, they will point at someone sign it for me or something like that. Okay, you got to have those documents. And those documents have to be valid and notarized, not notarized this on this form, but I mean, whatever the article, you got to provide a copy to the escrow. Okay, well, escrow will ask for it. Don't worry. If you forget, escrow will say, where's the article? Otherwise, you cannot sign anything. 20, joint escrow instruction of the escrow holder. A, the following paragraph, the applicable portion, therefore, this agreement consult with the joint escrow instruction of the buyer and seller escrow holder, which escrow holder is used along with any related counter offer and addenda and any additional mutual instruction and close of escrow. Paragraph 1, 3, 4B, 5A, 6, 7, 10C, 13, 14H, 17, 18A, 19, 20, 26, 29, 30, 31, 32, and paragraph D of the section title, real estate broker, on page 10. So this is actually, we got total 10 pages, so, okay, just let you know. If a copy of the separated compensation agreement provided for the paragraph 18A or paragraph D of the section title real estate broker on paragraph 10 is deposited with the escrow holder by the broker, escrow holder should accept such agreement and pay out from broker or seller's fund or both. So like what? Like, somebody want to put an inspection into the escrow, then they can, pay it separately to the escrow from the, if the buyer cancel during the contingency period, whatever if they put in the escrow, whatever the fee, the escrow need to pay. And as applicable, the broker compensation provided in such agreement, the terms and conditions of this agreement not set forth of a specified paragraph, an additional matter of the information the escrow holder, but about the escrow holder need not be concerned. Buyer and seller will receive the escrow holder general provision, if any, directly from the escrow holder, and will execute such provision with the time specified in paragraph 7C, 1C. To the extended the general provision or inconsistent or conflict with the agreement, the general provision will control as to the duty of the obligation of escrow holder only. Buyer and seller will execute additional instruction, document, and form provided by the escrow holder that are reasonably necessary to close of escrow, and as described by the escrow holder within 3 days shall pay by the escrow holder or HOA or HOA management company and other any fee required in paragraph 7, 10, or elsewhere in this agreement. What's telling you? Seller, within 3 days, you need to go to escrow to pay the HOA if you need to order the HOA document. Okay, it's here. Certainly, when the and certainly on the page number 3, you will see that when the escrow give it an escrow instruction to the buyer or seller, they need to sign it back within 5 days. You cannot keep on delay and delay and delay. No. That's according to the paragraph 3. If you go back and look at it, it's 5 days on the escrow instruction. Another thing is that, whatever the we issue the addendum, then escrow will issue an amendment for buyer and seller to sign. For example, often I ask the listing agent compensate me more commission. Then I got to issue the CBC form. Then escrow will, issue the amendment. So seller would agree, sign. And certainly, our company would just put Kwang's stamp. Okay, we are glad to accept it, right? Okay. If you got, pay more, or if you're a listing agent, some of the listing agent, okay, fine, James, I'll split out my part, with you, more. Okay. Sometimes I feel sorry. So when I look at their commission, oh, okay. Because sometimes I get 2%. I say, can you pay me 2.5%? Okay, fine, I'll pay you 2.5%. When you look at it, oh, they become 1%. So what kinds of offer? It's 3.5% total. Yeah. So I mean, what can we do? I mean, this is a free world. I mean, you can sign whatever the percentage with the seller as your choice. A copy of this agreement, including any counter offer and an addenda, should be delivered to the escrow holder within the 3 days after acceptance. Buyer and seller authorize the escrow holder accept and relight a copy of the signature defined by this agreement and originally open escrow and for other purpose of the escrow. The validity of the agreement as between buyer and seller is not affected by the whether or when escrow holder sign this agreement. Escrow holder should provide seller statement of information to title company when received from seller. If the seller deliver an affidavit to escrow holder to satisfy a seller FERTA obligation under paragraph 10C, escrow holder should deliver buyer qualification substitute statement that comply with this federal law. What's it telling you? Seller's affidavit, we got to have a copy. If the seller refused to signing the disclosure statement as a listing agent, we provided the seller because our affidavit have to show the complete their 8-digit of the social security number on the form. If they refuse to do that, okay, fine. Then escrow, they got to provide it a substitute. So they also have an affidavit. But escrow still have all their 8-digit, but they will cover the first 5-digit and just probably the last 4-digit or maybe the first 5-digit of the social security number, the seller, and give this copy to buyer. Buyer got to obtain a copy. You got to remember that because buyer need to obtain the copy just in case later on when the property when the seller, previous seller has a tax issue. They say it's an owner occupied, but they never occupied. But it's an investment property. They have to pay capital gain tax, and they never pay. So the IRS, they'll come back. But then who they come back? The property owner, the buyer, right? The current property owner. So you got to have a copy to show them. Seller told me they are the owner occupied, so that's why we didn't really, or escrow did not withhold any property, the capital gain tax. So not my issue. Please go, find on the seller. So that's why, especially foreigner, before they sell the property, before they get the money, why the escrow company holding their fund based on the selling price? Because they may not report tax. They don't have a tax ID. So they're withholding their fund just in case later on buyer can after escrow. Not my issue. escrow, you deal with it, right? Okay. Did you withholding the fund? Yeah. You say you better consult with your tax consultant. I don't want to deal with it. Even 5 years later, okay, first of all, totally wrong. I mean, we know what's the owner-occupied guideline? No, your clients actually is, no, 5 years. 如果说 after 5 years, okay, actually within 2 years, if you live there, technically, if you, 对，就好了。Okay. Then he or she need to sell it before 5 years, not after 5 years. 那所以等于说他现在来讲的话，如果要 claim on the owner occupy， 前2年自己住 ，right？ You cannot sell the property over 前5年嘛，我前2年自己住啊，后面3年，你不能超过3年卖掉。对。叫 close escrow，a close escrow，but still the guideline tax okay rule is changing. Still have him to consult with the tax attorney or okay that's fine as long as the no, that's okay. So that's why just like if you reported whatever the document to escrow officer, they're not liable. They give you the 597C or 597E. That's either tell you owner occupy, okay, or it's investment property. You fill it out yourself. You fill out the wrong form, you take the consequence. Yes, yeah, because you gotta have to show them all the utility bills. That's why on the previous paragraph we are not responsible, right? C, broker as a party of an escrow for solely purpose compensation pursuing the paragraph 18A and paragraph D of the section. 我这是刚 go over 了吗？没有 ，OK. Real estate broker at page 10. Buyer and seller irrevocable assigned to broker compensation specified in the paragraph 18A. And irrevocable instruct escrow holder to disperse those funds broker at the close of escrow for pursuing to any other mutual executed cancellation agreement. Compensation instruction can be admitted to revoke only with the written consent of the broker. Buyer and seller should release harmless escrow holder from any liability resulting from the escrow holder payment to the broker compensation pursuing to this agreement. So they same thing, escrow holder, they release their liability as well. So anything cancellation agreement is between, broker, seller, buyer's agent. Escrow not responsible for that. D, upon receipt, the escrow holder should provide the seller and seller's broker verification of a buyer deposit and fund pursuing the paragraph 3A and 3B. That's the receipts, what we receive, after open escrow. Once escrow holder become aware of any of the following, escrow holder should immediately notify all brokers if buyer initial or any additional deposit or down payment is not made pursuing of this agreement, or is not good at time deposit with the escrow holder. If the check bounce, escrow will notify both parties right away. Initial deposit check bounce, because usually they were still accepting personal check. Okay, but if the buyer, they wire the money, fine, those money is great. But personal check, it could have a tendency to bounce. And also 2, if the buyer or seller instruct escrow holder to cancel escrow. Can you cancel escrow, just write it before even the deposit? Yeah, possibly. Just like, you go through inspection and something wrong with it, before they turn in the initial deposit, cancel the escrow. Or if the deposit, initial deposit bounce, can they still cancel escrow? Yeah, because that's not a good money. You can cancel. So do not deliver the check has a fund, okay? Because that will cause the issue. Seller can cancel the buyer. Yeah. So it doesn't mean buyer, you sign a signature, you got everything. Without the money get into the escrow, you still nobody, nothing. Because the escrow cannot considerably open if the money's not in, right?
If the check bounces, then the buyer didn't pay anything.
The check bounce? Well, the buyer need to pay, for whatever insufficient fund fee, but not in escrow though. Yeah. Because escrow didn't get any money from them. How can I deduct it?
But the agent didn't get any money too.
Yeah, nobody get anything.
So that's just wipe out.
Yeah, if they don't want to buy, just cancel.
Do we need a penalty? Something like that?
Well, how you don't have money? How do you collect the penalty? I have no money in the escrow. Who do you penalize? Yeah.
So that means it's not protect if the people do the purpose.
Not much we can do. Fire this buyer. Yeah. So sometimes they don't accept you. That's why they want the money to be wired. Unless you gotta remember the mark on the first page of a purchase agreement. Personal check. I always mark personal check. I mean, certainly the buyer, they can wire the money, but I just, say, well, if they don't want to wire the money because you need to pay what, $30 now for the wiring? Yeah. So some of the buyer, they're cheap. They don't want to pay $30. Okay, then give me the personal check. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No. 不行，不可以。3 days. You got a 3 business day. You will allow the buyer to wire money, but you could serve the buyer the MBP 2 days before after the first day. Second day, you can serve the buyer MBP. Sure, your money is gonna be into the escrow. Otherwise, seller has a right to cancel. Because if you got bounce check, it's gonna be delayed anyway. Buyer to perform for initial deposit check. Sure. Or if the deposit, yeah, you serve them right away. If the 3 day did not deposit, if the third day they still didn't see, you serve the MBP right away, just check mark the initial deposit. Then I mean 5th day they gotta have to bring it in, otherwise seller can cancel. But actually 2nd day you can serve that. I mean the 3rd day. I will not cancel without serving that because it's not right. The step is not right. If it really had, you need to fight back. Where's the MVP? Okay, so anything you want to do the cancellation, remember that you gotta have to serve the buyer MVP. Notice better perform. So if they want to after us on the mediation, I did everything right, correctly. That's what I'm here to tell you. What is a proper way to control the whole situation? If you're the listing agent, don't just give in a cancellation. I said, wait a minute. Well, why are you giving a cancellation? Oh, because you did not turn in an initial deposit. Well, yeah, but you never served me the MVP. So that means, okay, I'll serve. Then if they tell you that, then you have to serve them right away. But if they turn in an initial deposit to the escrow right now, and continue, right? The seller can have no way to cancel. Or if you serve the MVP too early, some of the listing agent lost count of a day. If that's the case, I would tell the listing agent, I say, serve another MVP on the proper day again, because your previous one is not valid. You served too early. Yeah. I don't want to bring the argument later on. So I rather do it properly. If someone make a mistake, that's okay. If you serve the MVP too early, okay, you serve it on the spot or later. That's why I always say you cannot serve the MVP. You tell them whatever the contingency to be removed 2 days prior the removing date, removing contingency date. 2 days, 2 day calendar day. I didn't say business day. 2 calendar day before they remove. So that means if the appraisal contingency, which day you can serve? 15th day. Loan contingency, 19th day, because 21, right? So 19th day you can serve. You cannot do it prior to that. If you do it prior to that, say, oh, somebody get lazy. Ah, that's okay. Well, so what? I don't want to. I won't cancel you. Just continue to use this. No, because when the seller signed an NBP, I said what date on the NBP? If I open an argument, you serve me a wrong time, so that's invalid. Do I have to? You cannot cancel me. Then who is in trouble? Seller gonna piss on the listing agent because you. Okay. Everybody all under pressure, when we work on this job, not job, career. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 That'll bring the argument. It's like 3 days, okay? Because on the purchase agreement, didn't really say. If you see that, see that's why we. See the initial deposit. They only say within 3 business days after acceptance, but they never say the seller can cancel. Right? So if I want to properly doing it, let me show you the notice by to perform on that particular check mark. That you'll know. If I serve that, buyer, look, I have a right to cancel because you didn't turn in the initial deposit. So that's why I tell you on the second day, second business day, you can serve them a NBP. But tell you the truth, 99% of the listing agent will forget to do that, and they would never do that. They figure, assuming it shouldn't happen. Yeah, but can you serve them the NBP? Yes. Yeah. So if that's the case, then you can cancel. So that's why they didn't say the seller can cancel. They just say the money has to be in within 3 business days. So that's why your situation, you are assuming. I'll tell you that, on our career, never assume any situation. Put everything black and white. Do not assume, because it will hurt you. It hurt you. You think it's common sense. Well, if it's really bring this case to the court, it's not common sense. You didn't have black and white. So before we give out a cancellation, we gotta have to serve the buyer NBP. Let me just give you the quick view on NBP. I would definitely cover that, but the notice buyer perform. Do I give that? No. Okay, because this buyer, because I have a dual agent, so I didn't really serve anybody. Then he just signed it. Let me go add this. Sure. No. You're gonna have to put everything in. No, 你可以开好几张 from different account, but it got to be the same day. So you bring it in everything into the it has to be same day. Yes, it has to be same day. Notice buyer notice, notice, notice. Notice, delete, notice, notice, notice. Notice change the term. Notice a private transfer. Notice prelim. Notice change the term. Notice a private. 一堆 notice. Oh, notice seller to perform. But how about, where's the notice buyer to perform? 跑哪里去了？算了，我到上面的 search 来找比较。Buyer counter， 对，我是 search 比较快，我直接打 MVP。Notice buyer to perform， OK， 给你看一下。OK。Okay, here, this is a notice buyer to perform. They have all the check marks. Certainly, when it's the last thing, is all contingency. Okay, so this is a contingency part, but this is what's called contractual action. Contractual action, that is according to you already agree in the purchase agreement, but actually you did not deliver. So basically, who breached the contract? It's more like a buyer. So this is a contractual action. So you got to mark right here. Initial deposit. Okay? Then seller sign. Then that's it. Because seller has a date. You need to date it. So that means if you do not remove the space, if you do not, then after that you serve them the request for repair. Not request for repair. There's a contingency removal. The notice buyer to perform. There's a contractual action. So the contractual action doesn't have a CR. Okay? It's not contingency removal. So contractual action is I give you a warning, 2 days. If by 3 days, business day, you did not turn in, then I can serve you the cancellation. I don't wait for you on the CR because this is not contingency. So that's why, a calendar, okay. Well, initial deposit is business day lah. Because it's 3 days, right? It has to be a business day. Unfortunately, that's, but I mean, if, for example, if, let's put it this way. If we open escrow on Friday, and the money has to be due in Tuesday, when can we serve the MVP? Monday. Because we always use the calendar day for MVP. So you gotta have to calculate yourself, okay? Well, he cannot control it. Yeah. So that's why, then you can say, we don't want to accept any offer until like over the weekend. So that's why they say they usually review the offer on Monday. Yeah. Yes. Everything is possible. So buyer can cancel or the seller have other offer coming in. It is. So they all have a different situation. But that's, the contractual action. Those are just the action. You just notify them. You don't need to wait until the buyer to respond. So that's why you're from initial deposit, increased deposit, form FEA. Those are the FHA and VA attempted loan application, down payment verification, all cash verification. Those are usually what we need to provide it. Yeah, when we submit an offer, right? Okay. Return statutory disclosure. Come on. When I give you within 7 days, when you're going to return it? Usually 5 days. You are not returning. Can you serve them? Yes. If I serve them, you still ignore the disclosure, you're not responding, or return it back to the listing agent. Can seller cancel? Because this is part of a contractual action. A lot of listing agents doesn't know. You have a right in control. For those get those paperwork back. So the letter disclosure or receipt for the increased, deposit or escrow evidence sells buyer's property. So that means if the buyer did not return the escrow instruction, right? Or anything related, or delivering at a representative capacity statutory addendum and evidence authorized to the act. If you keep on delay, and you still not showing, who is signing the paperwork, the RCSD, then if the wait until the MVP serve, okay, 2 days. 2 days. Well, it's up to you. It's yeah, you could. Yes. You have to. That's why you have to know the right. Okay. You have to know the right. So look at it. Buyer. You gotta tell them like that. If you do not remove the specific contingency, okay, that's one of them. Or take the specified contractual action indicated above within 2 days after delivered, but no less than a time specified in the agreement, and this notice prior to perform, seller may cancel the agreement. Is that clear? Okay. Listing agent, you still have a lot of control, but you just have to know how to use it. Okay? Hopefully you guys will learn something. Oh, 1天可以啊 if you want to get 1 day. No, you try to you try not to do that. But if you really want to do that, you have to put in a counter offer before the open escrow. Okay? Why I'm saying that? Okay. Or some of a buyer, if they are some of a buyer, they try to be smart. They change to 5 days on the purchase agreement. On the purchase agreement, we do have that section. Okay, let me get back to the purchase agreement. This is paragraph 14. By here, 17 day. Okay, that's a paragraph 14. Notice by perform right here. E. Some of a buyer, they change to 5 days. If they change to 5 days, then you cannot serve them. You got to give them 5 days, okay, to do the action. But you know what? If I see somebody change that, I'll put in a counter offer to reverse back. Okay, to reverse back. Just like one thing, I just tell you something. How many buyers they forgot the initial right here? Paragraph 21, 22. Okay, mediation, arbitration, breach, remedy of buyer's breach of contract dispute, mediation, arbitration. Often they forgot the initial. Can they come back to initial? After what I'm saying, after seller sign this purchase agreement. After, not before. Before, I mean, they can resend it. But if the seller sign initial right here, seller is already initial on the bottom, then you cannot change it. You cannot come back, hey, let me initial again. No. Then what can you do? Put in a counter offer and they say buyer agree, paragraph 21 and 22. Then when buyer signing addendum, because the counter offer will be supersede the purchase agreement, right? Got it. Yeah. So a lot of people, even some of the listing agent doesn't know. So I just go back in the initial. Or legally, you shouldn't. You cannot initial again after seller or the initial or sign a purchase agreement. You cannot come back and initial. Just like you sign a listing agreement, you want to modify anything on a listing agreement, you cannot just change it. You just have to using modification term. Because that would including if you want to do the extension of a listing. Including you drop the price. including whatever the say the seller willing to give away, a washer, dryer, refrigerator. You put it on the modification of term, because listing agreement doesn't have anything because you change it later. That's it. Yes, because your sellers, they can ignore. Yeah. They say, when did I tell you to drop the price? You did. You called me 2 weeks ago. No, never. I want it's evidence. And that's why the modification of term, you can do a lot of things. Okay? So remember to use that form. But that's why I'm telling 90% of a listing agent, they just ignore it. Why? So why so much trouble? Hey, when I go through mediation, ain't got no trouble. Spend whole day for nothing. Just chatting with the attorney, wasting whole day. And that's for 10 grand. Okay? When you think it's busy, okay. Just a form. Do it. Okay? D. Okay, did I finish that? Okay. Upon receipt, escrow holder has provided seller and selling broker verification of buyer deposit. Okay, yeah, I want to finish that. Copy of NMD. Okay, 3 days. Okay. So 21. Let me just go one more paragraph. 21, remedy of a buyer's breach of contract. Any clause added by the party specify a remedy such as release and forfeiture of deposit to making a deposit non-refundable. For failure of a buyer to complete a purchase in violation of this agreement shall be deemed invalid unless the clause independently satisfy the statutory liquidation damage requirements set forth in the Civil Code. Liquidation damage. If the buyer failed to comply this purchase because the buyer's default, seller should retain the liquidation damage the deposit actually paid. If the property is dwelling with no more than 4 units, one of that buyer intend to occupy, then the amount of retaining shall be no more than 3% of the purchase price. Any exceed shall be returned to buyer, except as provided in paragraph 14H. Release of fund will require mutual signed release instruction from both buyer and seller. Judicial decision, arbitration award. At the time of increased deposit, buyer and seller should sign a separate liquidation damage provision incorporating an increased deposit liquidation damage. So if you want to increase if you want to put your increased deposit into the liquidation damage, you need to sign a separate form because that will be increased. But if it's owner occupied, you can only charge them 3%. What's that telling you? If it's an investment property, all initial deposit. If the initial deposit is 5%, all of them compensate to seller. Okay, all of them. It's only owner occupied. Yeah. Uh-huh. 投资房的话就那个投资房的话 okay, if the investment property has no limit, whatever the initial deposit, if you only put 2%, seller can only get you 2%. Seller cannot get 3%. You cannot, after those investors, I mean, that's why when we do the counter, we want 3% or whatever the percentage, if it's an investment property. So if the buyer intend not to live there because in default, on this part, remember here, here, 9A, buyer intend or does not intend to occupy the property as buyer's primary residence. If buyer is not intend to occupy, if I see that and for some reason you don't feel secure, sometimes you can have a hunch. If not too secure, something like that, you ask if the investment property, well, it is though. It can be investment because they don't intend to occupy it, and that's an investment property. Then the liquidation damage is not going to be limited to 3% because that's going to be owner occupied. Then you can ask for more initial deposit. But on the other hand, you might scare the buyer away. Okay? 一把剑两面刃. It's like, it's sharp sword, both sides. If you want to serve that, sometimes you hurt yourself as well. They may just forget it. We're not going to buy if you increase deposit to 5%. Right? Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Well, I don't care. I get my power. I get my commission. Do I care? No. Yeah. If they're using just like, some investor, they are lying to the lenders. I'm only going to owner occupy. Okay. So they get financing. But the bank is not stupid either. If the bank have any doubt, they will go and knock on the door in the early morning. Then you see who's come out. If the tenant, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm the tenant. Bang. He served the notice. Tell the buyer, either you pay off the loan or you refinance to the investment loan. I got a client. Face it. Yes. 10% chance. Okay, 10%. So that's why I warn my buyers. Say, if you want to take that chance, none of my business. So I end up half a year later, my buyer pay off the loan because, yeah, yes. Just like, so did you know if like your school district will knock on the door in the early morning, 6 o'clock, to see if the kids actually really live here because you're using by someone else's address for a better school district, right? Same thing. They have a right to check because you lied to them. No. They do have a department doing that to check on that. Okay. So that's why I give the warning. I say, don't tell me I did not warn you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. You want to do it? Okay, fine. It's your choice. If you want to rather to pay the consequences, you're ready to pay off or have to refi. Because when you refi, you gotta have, you gotta pay the escrow, everything again. Yeah. Otherwise, bank demand you to close it because you lied to the bank. And that's what? If they're really pursuing that, that's a felony. If we lie to the bank, anything, it's a felony. Federal law. That's why I say half year. What? I don't care. 1 year. You gotta have to commit it. The first year, you gotta live there. Did anybody read the mortgage, your loan doc? They put it over there. Then they say, show me the utility bill. No, show me the utility bill. So if you really want to do that, I tell my client, don't change any utility bill under your name. Okay, everything is, still under. Then you have the tenant pay you separately every month, or including the rent. Okay. All right, we'll stop right here. So we'll come back next week for a dispute resolution. Thank you for coming. Yeah.